Welcome to the Bears Den Pawcast, where we highlight the journey of how Cubs become Bears. I'm Patience.
And I'm Corin. And today we had the very special pleasure of sitting down with SJSH's very own Lenny.
So, Corin, what was your favorite part of the podcast?
I really enjoyed how during our conversation we ended up coming to a mutual liking for Lenny's pasta dishes, and that's something that I didn't know about him. He really likes the pasta dishes that he makes, and myself included.
Yeah, I really liked how he talked about being a good citizen is all you really need. Even like not knowing what you need to do after high school, it's okay because it'll all work out in the end.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It gives students the encouragement to not be too worried after graduating.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something that a lot of people right now are starting to worry about more. We have a lot of grade 12s this year. It's a big grade. But this is definitely a great episode. There's a lot of interesting perspectives, especially on how Scholar used to be, which is not a very touched upon subject. So keep watching and you'll see for yourself. Well, Lenny, welcome. There were many requests, obviously, to have you featured on our show from both staff and students.
Thanks for having me. I hope I can deliver.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. Yeah, we're really excited to have you today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you sitting here with us today, I'm really excited for this.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope I don't let you down.
No.
So you're an SJSH alum who has returned to our school community to run Lenny's Cantina, our school's restaurant service. When you walk these halls today, what memories from your own student days come back to you the most?
That's a good question. I don't have a lot or any memories for the hallways that I actually spend my time in, and when you're talking about the cafeteria, the servery, the gymnasium, all that end of the school, that wasn't here when I was here. I graduated in my 5th year, 1981. So 1983, I believe, is when the school became co-ed. So back when I came here, it was only the boys, a lot more priests, and then of course they had the girls' college over on Main West.
Yeah.
So we didn't interact too much at all, if at all, with the girls over at the college. So here it was just all the boys. I think back then we used to have 600 or 700 of us, and so the school itself was quite a bit different. The gymnasium, I believe, is where the auditorium is. So like there were a lot of different things about the school that aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, if anything brings back memories, to me it would be when my own kids went here, Ashley, Bradley, and Tyler. So I have those memories of this part, the new part of the school. Might be old to you guys, but it's new to me. Coming down this hallway, I see the entrance going into the stairwell. We used to run those stairways quite a bit, training for the sports that we were in, up and down those stairs, and even for class time, we were up and down those stairs, all day long. So I'm sure you guys are up and down those stairs. You know what
Oh
that's
yeah.
like.
All the time.
Yeah. So that's really what kind of, it's the actual layout of the classes on this side of the school. And then it brings back some of the memories of being in class and, who some of the teachers were and how terrible of a student I was. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. My goodness. Yeah. So a while
I
ago.
did get
that
my
was
grade 12, though.
Yeah, nice. So to go back onto like the sports that you were involved with and all of these extracurriculars that Scholar had during this time, like, I mean, you were involved in a band, you were a singer and a drummer, and like, what role did those activities play in shaping who you are today?
Well, those activities were, I like to say, the main cause of my academic success or lack of. I was extremely busy in all areas of the school.
No doubt.
So I played hockey for 4 years. I played a couple of years football until I realized I wasn't big enough. I played volleyball until I realized I wasn't tall enough. And then the music side of it, I never took music in high school, and I don't even know if I don't know if they would have had much of a music program here back then. Like back when I came here, there went a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like we paid to come here.
Yeah.
We used to pay for our books. I never even wanted to come here. I was initially I thought I was going to go right from St. Hubert's over to Woodfield, follow the girls, and even though I was that young, I thought that's what I wanted to do, is just be part of a co-ed education system. And it was my father that pulled me aside and said, he made a deal. He said, Lenny, I'll make you one deal. He said, if you could do me a favor, I'd like you to go to Scholar for 1 year, and your grade 9 year. And he said, if you want to go to any other high school after that, you can go wherever you want. I'll support it. But he says, just give me 1 year at Scholar. And so the rest is history. I stayed here for 5 years. Back then there was Scholar only had a 5-year program. There was no such thing as a 4-year program, although you could complete your grade 12 in 4 years as long as you had your credits. But here at Scholar, at that time, all they taught was the 5-year program, which you guys don't know about because that doesn't exist anymore. Usually the 5-year program was for people that were going to university, and the 4-year program was to college, or, into the trades or whatever. I believe. I didn't go to university, and the thing is, when I was in high school, I loved it. I loved every minute that I was here. I loved hanging out with the guys, and I loved getting in trouble with the guys. And I have a lot of memories of things that we did that was fun, and because it was an all guys school as well, like there were different kinds of fun that we were able to have and get away with, and the lot of the priests, the brothers that taught us, didn't have the same restrictions that teachers have today. So they were able to. They didn't let us, but they had a bit of leeway, or nobody was going to tell them that they weren't doing it right, or that they were allowing us to get away with too much. It was just they were able just to do it the way they want. They taught the way they wanted, and they policed the school the way they wanted, and there were no parents weren't able to. It didn't matter what parents really thought. It was when you came to Scholar, and you accepted the way it was run, and you accepted how it was operated, and if you didn't like it, just go to another school, right? So it made it very unique in that regard, and the camaraderie was so cool and fun to be part of, and right from grade 9 to grade 13, it wasn't just the grade 9s hanging out with the grade 9s, the grade 10s hanging out. We had intramural sports where we had a floor hockey league in the morning that was running before school, and every team had to have a grade 9, a grade 10, a grade 11 on it.
Oh wow!
And then you were allowed something like eight players, and they held the stats and everything, and we had our championships and everything, but every team had to have a kid from every grade. So it really forced all the grades to kind of mingle and know who everybody was. And then the other thing was when, like during all the sports, all the guys from all the grades went to all the games and supported all the teams. And it was that camaraderie that really brought it all together and made it a lot closer knit group of kids. And then of course we were always like from other schools, we were looked at different because we were just guys. And I played sports, and we were called names out there. That was all part of it. It was part of the fun. And it was even more fun when you were really good, when you were a lot better than they were. So that made it pretty cool. But so that's. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely. That was great.
So
I could keep going with. It just keeps. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the viewers that don't know, Miss Hummel is your daughter, and she actually told us that you were a student and you sometimes got pulled out of class to help cook in the cafeteria when someone called in sick. So when did cooking shift from something you could do to something you wanted to build a life around? Was there like a moment when
Another loaded question.
when you realized this is it, this is what I love?
Well, not to get back to the other question and that long answer, but you talked about the fact that I played music as well, and I meant to get to that, and I will go to get you to the to Ashley part, but the music side of it, which I meant to get into, and I said how I never took music, and I don't even know if they had instruments here, like the band they have today.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if that was in the budget. I can't remember. I didn't take music, but I played not the drums. I played the bass.
Oh, you played the bass.
So I don't know where the drums came from. I kind of chuckled when I saw that in the program, but I played the bass, and to this day I don't know how to play the bass. So I did some things, and we all did. These are the kind of things that we did back in the day for fun. I played the bass in front of the church at the Pro Cathedral with a full mass. And I didn't know how to play the bass, but I played the bass. And I played it enough that my brother played the guitar alongside me. He could play the guitar. So we'd get home, and my dad was a musician, and he had a bass, and I used to just pick it up, and I can't read music. I don't know where the notes are. I don't know what the notes are on a bass, but I would just play it by ear, and he'd strum along, and I'd pick up a couple of notes, and then I'd bring the bass, and everybody thought I played the bass. And so it sounded okay, the songs in the mass. And then we played in the carnival, the school carnival back, and they used to have a dance, and they used to have different bands that would go up and play, and so we decided we'd get our own band together, and so we got 5 guys together to play that night in front of a packed gym, and I don't know how to play the bass, but I played it, and the funny part about it was we had a hockey game that night. My brother played hockey as well, and our band was going on stage at 10 o'clock or something like that. So we, our game was 7 to 9, and we were a little bit nervous. I was nervous because I'm singing too.
Yeah.
I was the lead singer, and so we were a little nervous. So we got through the hockey game. We didn't fare out well at the hockey game. We were just, it was all about here. So we got here and we played, and the crowd in the gym was so loud. You couldn't tell I didn't know how to play the bass. And it ended up turning out really cool. And we got called on for an encore.
That's
And we only,
awesome.
we only practiced 3 songs. We played the 3 songs. And so we had to play another song that we never practiced or played before, and we got through it, and it was pretty cool. So when I read in that thing about being a musician, I don't play the bass. I don't know how. But I told everybody I did. So, and I did. And if I didn't know the note, I just didn't play one. So it sounded okay. So back to where Ashley, she's the one that probably said I did all this stuff and played music and everything. So she got the drum part wrong. I played the bass. But so, and then your question regarding, just kind of go back to that.
So she said when you were a student, you sometimes got pulled out of class to help with the
Yeah,
cafeteria.
so that was, so I played hockey, I played football, I came to school, I had a girlfriend, and I had a job. So Mr. Mallory was the vice principal back then, and he used to say, Lenny, I see you after school every day walking home with a great big armful of books. And then he said, I see you come back the next day with that same great big armful of books. He says, I often wonder what you do with them. And I used to bring them home with all intention to get caught up. And I was just too busy. And so my job I started working at Smitty's Pancake House, which was next to the Dairy Queen down on Lakeshore Drive. That was a breakfast place. That was my first cooking job. And then I did that for a year, and then I went to Pinewood. And Pinewood was, I think it's the Best Western now, where the little golf course is. That used to be the only place in town. So like that was a high-end, real busy hotel, banquet, wedding, and then fine dining place that if you were lucky enough to get a job in there, it was pretty cool, and you got to cook some pretty nice stuff. So that's how I got started, and I was probably, I don't know, just turning 17. And back then we were in high school till we were 18 going on 19 if you were here for the 5th year. So they knew I was doing that. And then when I was working in Miss School, because I was working, we'd always have to go to the office and get a pink slip from Mr. Mallory to get admitted back into class. So I'd always bring Mr. Mallory a great big red, shiny, delicious apple and put it on his desk and tell him that I was at work, and that's why I missed the last couple of days, and so they'd let me back in. And the thing about Mr. Mallory was he to this day he used to come and visit me during COVID when I was cooking the frozen food, and he'd always stop in. He'd call me and ask me if I could make him some fish and chips. So I'd say, "Yeah, Mr. Mallory, I'll make you some fish and chips." So he'd come in and he'd grab a chair in the cafeteria and he'd pull it into the kitchen and he'd sit there and he'd talk to me while I was making his fish and chips. And he always, one of the things that he said to me that brings me back to when I went to high school. He said, Lenny, he said, what we try to put out here at Schollard are not geniuses. He says, we try to put out good citizens. And that was true. So even though I wasn't going to be a genius, they knew I was going to be a good citizen. And so that's kind of like how I got through and how I found time to get through school, and then of course getting called out. So what would happen was they used to have boarders here, and the boarders used to have their 3 square meals a day, and they lived here. They lived in the front, the big front part of the building where the school board is. So there were dorms there. So a lot of our friends were boarders, and guys that we played sports with were actual boarders. And so they'd actually have a full team of cooks in the kitchen because they had to prepare breakfast, lunch, and supper for these boarders. So the odd time when the cook would call in sick, they'd call me at 11:15 on the PA, and would Len come to the office, and I'd go down and go, yeah, oh, the cook called in sick today. You think you can give him a hand on the steam table? So yeah, sure, I would do that because they knew I was already cooking. So that's how that started. And then the other thing was like we would do stuff like they would put an announcement out for any student interested in joining the Glee Club. And of course, the Glee Club, the choir, right? And so the Glee Club would get together and practice, and then sing at the church mass at the cathedral. And that's when the St. Joseph's College would join Scholard, and we'd be all together there for the Christmas mass, and it would be pretty full, and we'd sing in the choir up in the front. And we would do that to get out of class. We would rather sing in the choir than sit in class. So the little things that we used to do and just to have fun. And so my whole point to the whole thing about getting, I took part in everything. Not everything, but a lot. A lot of different things that went on around the school. So I have a lot of different memories, and I just didn't play hockey, or I just didn't play this sport. And I sang, and I sang in the choir, and there were lots of things that we did that were involved with the school, and putting a band together for the carnival.
Yeah.
So we did stuff, and I think that's why they thought maybe I was going to be a good citizen. Just getting involved. So that's where Ashley brings up getting called out to cook.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So
There might have been another part of that question.
yes. So what with cooking? How did that shift from when you realized like this is what I love, like this is what I want to do?
I don't want to bore you guys, but I hope I'm not boring you guys.
No, not at all.
I read that in the pamphlet a few days ago, and it's funny, something I never realized until I read that in the pamphlet, and I'm thinking, when did I actually decide this is what I want to do? And it's kind of hard to explain to you guys, but back when I was, I would say 10 or 12 maybe, so we're talking about 1972, 1974, we only had black and white TV, and we only had 2 channels. So we didn't have a food channel. We didn't even have the food channel when I took my course in college, which would have been in the early 80s. So back then, cooking wasn't a big deal. Like, cooking wasn't, you told somebody you were going to be a chef, they were like, wow, like, where'd you come up with that?
Yeah.
Right? Because there was really no exposure to that. But then I remembered back, there was a show that I watched back when I was about 10 or 11 or whatever. My mom used to put it on for me, and it was called The Galloping Gourmet. And it was a half-hour show, and it was a cooking show. And I don't even remember the name of this guy other than The Galloping Gourmet. And then basically he'd cook for a half an hour, and then at the end of the show, he would there's the meal, and they'd make a close-up of it.
Yeah.
He would take a cut it. He had a glass of wine there, and he would take the mouthful, and the the noise and the face he would make. And it was like one of my favorite shows. So I didn't realize that until I read that question. And because I never thought of when did I first start to like cooking. And then later when I went to, I got into cooking later when I got Smitty's Pancake House. My dad was a grocery salesman. So he was able to get me part-time jobs. Guess where? In the kitchen. And then when I started working at Pinewood, the chef there said he'd hire me and he'd work around my hockey schedule. So I played hockey for Schollard. And our hockey games used to be every Wednesday and Friday night. So I'd have to work Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So when did I do homework?
Yeah.
Right? When you put all those things, I was so far behind on some of the stuff, but they knew I was going to be a good citizen. I keep going back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that answer?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Well, I mean, now that you're here, I mean, you're running Lenny's Cantina in the school that you attended. What does it mean for you to probably end your cooking career in the place that it started?
Well, this is my last gig.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, you know what? It's because there were a lot of years during my career I didn't cook. So like when I worked for a company called Aramark, I managed food service. So I was the manager. So I got out of cooking for a lot of years. And so I am more of a manager, food service manager. I am Red Seal and I have all this experience cooking. But I'm not the best cook in town. Like, you know what I mean? I don't consider myself, a top-notch chef. I'm a food service manager, and I know how to make money in food service, which is a really, really tough thing to do nowadays. So I worked for a company called Aramark, and I used to do all the retail at Canadore and Nipissing. And during that time at Canadore and Nipissing, I worked at Lakehead University. I was sent to McGill in Montreal for a couple of weeks. I worked at the Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland, Ohio. They sent me all over the place. Thunder Bay, Lakehead, if I didn't say that already. Peterborough, at Trent, U of T, Ottawa. We held all our meetings. It was a company that basically ran food service at all these places.
Wow.
So, and I just happened to be the guy that did the food service at Canadore and Nipissing. So that was quite a period of time where I didn't have my head in the oven. My head was on the desk. So, and then I got back to cooking a little bit when Karen was the manager up at the North Bay Golf and Country Club. So I started cooking. They needed some help in the kitchen. So I kind of got that up and running for them and got it turned around for them. And then this came up. And so I thought, you know what, this is probably a pretty cool place to end it all. And I don't want to say end it all because that sounds sounds like the end.
Yeah.
It's a little grim.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I don't know how long they're going to let me do it, but it's been a good little ride. So I wish I'd have found it 20 years ago. I like hanging out with you guys. I don't know who the bad kids are in the school because I don't give out homework and I don't give out any assignments.
The ones who skip the line.
I feed people, so everybody you guys are all good kids to me. So yeah, that's I'm happy to be here for the final part of my gig.
Yeah, I'm hoping at least up until next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
After I graduate.
Yeah, I don't care.
Me too. We never know what holds the future holds for us, but I'm pretty happy to do this. I don't have anything. I'm glad to be back in the kitchen, and I'm glad to be able to. I don't even mind cooking French fries. I don't mind doing that stuff.
We're glad to have you.
Yeah. It's been good.
For sure. So, involving like your menus, they're like a highlight of the school day for a lot of students. Where do you draw inspiration when creating the meals? Like, do you think of the students when you're feeding your own taste, your past experience or a little of everything. Especially with the specials and everything.
I do. That's another good question. Where do I draw my inspiration? Well, every Sunday afternoon, I pour myself a glass of red wine and I sit down in front of the computer and I start. And if I have a second glass of wine, sometimes that menu starts to get pretty difficult. But I'll tell you what I think about. All you people are my livelihood. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't make any money, right? So I have to keep that in mind. So I have to understand. First of all, what I do is I understand and I know what you guys like to eat. And I'm doing cabbage rolls this week. They're not going to sell. I already know that. But every once in a while I'll do something like that just to do it differently or do something different. But I know that's not what you guys are going to buy, right? So I have to consider, and I have to understand that who my customer is in terms of how much money do you guys have to spend on food, right? So I have to serve food that you guys enjoy eating. I have to serve food that you guys can afford, and I have to serve food that's I can buy, that's not expensive, that I can turn around and make money on. So there are a number of variables that I have to look at before I. So people might think, well, here's another thing that really is part of what I have to deal with when it comes to feeding you guys. You don't like different pizza.
Yeah.
You like it one way.
Yeah.
And you like it with pepperoni. The odd one will like it with cheese, which I don't do because there's not enough of you that just like cheese. You can pick it off.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't like Hawaiian pizza. You don't like whatever, Greek pizza. You don't like it. You don't like any other kind of wrap other than chicken Caesar. As a matter of fact, crispy chicken Caesar.
Yep.
And so, I'll get people, we were sitting around at the lunch table, one of the teachers, and, we came up with 14 or 15 different wraps that you could probably make. I said, yeah, I could probably come up with 60, but they won't sell. The only ones that sell are the crispy chicken Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be considerate of that. I don't want to make stuff that's not going to sell, right? I got to move. It's got to turn over.
Yeah.
So that's how I get my inspiration. That's how you guys inspire me, because you guys are my livelihood. If I don't give you guys what you want to buy, I'm not gonna make any sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my inspiration.
Yeah.
And of course, I like cooking too.
Of course. Yeah.
So sometimes I'll look stuff up and go, oh, geez, I never made that before. I'll give that a shot, and so I'll try different things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that you're back here and you're working with your wife and you're working with your daughter in the same building, like
Here
how
comes that question.
How does that affect you personally and professionally?
Do you want the romantic answer, or do you
I want whatever answer feels best for you.
Oh, you want the truth?
I want the truth.
Yeah. It doesn't affect me at all because, like Ashley is, even though she's like right across the hall, I don't pay any attention to what she does, and she doesn't pay any attention to what I do, and I don't want to know what she does because I wouldn't want to do what she does, and I say that respectfully. I wouldn't be able to, I don't know, maybe I would be able to be a teacher, I don't know, but I think that would be a pretty tough job. So then there are things you have to do. What she does is I'm proud of her. I'm proud of my two boys. All three of them are, good citizens, and that's all I can ask for. They all work. I'm lucky, touch wood. They're good partners. So I'm proud of them that way. So as long as she's happy doing what she's doing, I'm happy for her. She loves doing what she does, and I stay out of her way. And she, for the most part, stays out of my way until she gets hungry. Every time I hear that voice, I go, okay, Ashley's hungry. And that's been going on since 1989.
Wow. Yeah.
So speaking of your wife, how did you two meet and who made the first move?
That's personal. Well, okay, I'll tell you this. Karen's an athlete in her own right? So in high school, she was a cross-country runner. The team that she was on with West Ferris, they won the All-Canadians.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty good. That's pretty good at what. So, who do you think's going to catch who? I'm not going to catch her. But it's funny how it came came together. She was working at Pinewood, and I was working in the kitchen. She was working on the golf. She worked for Mike Harris, who became our Premier of Ontario. You guys wouldn't remember that. But she worked for him out at that golf course, and she used to come to the back door to get coffee cups and creamers for the pro shop, and the boys used to all go running to try to get her what she needed. So that's basically how I started to get to know her a little bit, you know, and then we became friends. And it's been the same. Like we're friends before we're anything, right? I don't know, maybe that's the recipe for longevity, but yeah, we're just friends, and I guess that's how we get along in the kitchen. I'm probably a pain in her butt more than she is in mine, but she does a lot for me, and at my age, I'm happy that she does a lot for me because it'll help me hang around here a little longer. So yeah, I don't even remember really how we met or you know how it all happened, but that's kind of, we were friends.
Yeah. So you guys were just
And she
friends
runs faster
first,
than me.
and then she runs faster than you. That's
Well, look at me.
awesome.
Yeah.
So when you do finally end up hanging up your apron, what do you hope that staff and students here remember most about your time here?
Here?
Here.
I hope that I hope everybody just kind of like I get the feedback from you guys already.
Mm-hmm.
I always get positive feedback. I always get one of the reasons I like being here is because you guys you show your appreciation. You tell me, and for the work I do, and I think that that's what keeps me coming here every year and coming back. It's just and the camaraderie that we have with you guys in the caf. We had some music going, and you know, Karen's pretty good with the people out front, and so we try to keep it pretty you know, pretty friendly and pretty easygoing, and it's funny, we had one like here's an example. Maybe this is what I want to leave behind. There was a student here last year who was a troubled student. When I say troubled, I mean I just heard that the guy was already in. I was okay, so it's a guy. The guy was already always in trouble and wasn't very. And his last day of school, which was probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 days before school actually finished. But his last day of school, he came in and he said to Karen, he went, man, he says, the only thing I like about this place is this place right here. And he goes, I'm going to miss it. And he said, he wished her all the best. He goes, this is it for me. I'll see you later. And off he went. And so I guess my point is that I want people to remember that they had a good food service when they you know, they're going to remember down the road, man, those cookies were good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they'll still talk about it. Like I had a young lady that I don't know. I was on Instagram and she messaged me, and she went to school here last year, and she sent me a note saying, I wish you were here cooking at Cambrian. And then I found out she was going to she was in Sudbury going to Cambrian, and I had put my menu up for the week or something she saw, and so like that's pretty cool, right? You know, it's just somebody that's doesn't even go here anymore. Just sent me a little message like thanks a lot kind of thing.
When it impacts somebody's life.
Yeah, it impacts somebody's life, I guess. Yeah. And so I can't really think of anything more than that, like other than, you know, just for people to remember the food was good.
Yeah.
And we miss it. You know, even when they go to another university, you know, we still miss our cafeteria back in Scotland.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So, knowing what you know now as alumni, a chef, and a parent, what is the single most important piece of advice you would offer to a current SJSH student?
Did you guys pack a lunch? Okay, I can probably keep this fairly short. It's just, I was thinking about that. I read that question and I thought, how would I answer that? But, you know, over the years, I've done a lot of different things and had a lot of fun doing them. And as an example, I had everybody believing I was a bass player and a singer, and I'm neither one. And the thing is you know, when you leave here, first of all, it'd be great if you find something in a field that you have a passion for, and that doesn't always happen. It didn't happen for me. I didn't have a passion for cooking. It was something that I was able to make money and buy my dad's car off him, kind of thing, and I was able to do things with the money that I was making. I had no plan, and it just kind of carried into. It turned into a full-time job, and it's how I brought up my family and paid for everything, and so it happened, and it just so happened that I did have a passion for the stove. So for a student, maybe you know, finding that thing isn't going to be there when you're finished high school. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're not going to know what you want to do yet, and it's like, oh man, I'm going to university now or whatever. I got to continue my education, and I have no idea what direction I want to go, and so that could be the case for a lot of kids, especially now that they're 17, going to university, and I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do when I was 17. I didn't mean to say that. What the heck?
Bleep.
Yep.
Bleep.
But as you get going and you do find that passion, one thing I've always said is never ever undercut undercut whatever. Always understand that you're better than what you actually think you are at whatever it is you're doing, and you'll be amazed. And when you get into the work field, and let's say you're working in a career somewhere, and somebody wants to give you a promotion, the first thing you're going to think about is, I'm not ready for this. and you're not. You're never going to be, because you haven't done it before.
Yeah.
Right? But because you're being offered a promotion is because you did so well at the job you're doing now. And so there were times where I was promoted and I thought, man, I'm not ready for this. Oh, well, I'm not telling anybody though. I'll show up tomorrow and I'm gonna get after it. And so like always understand that you're better than what you are, what you think you are. And don't let time fly. Don't let time tick away. Time goes by so fast.
Oh yeah.
And before you know it, and you probably heard that 1,000 times. And I remembered hearing that, and I'm going, yeah, well, it's going by pretty slow for me. Like, I mean, but it does go by fast all of a sudden, and there you are. It's like, oh man, and so get after it. You know, don't sit around and wait for things to happen.
Yeah.
You got to get after it. And like I said, always understand that you're better than what you are, what you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
And understand that. And once you know that, once you get that confidence level and get that vibe, people will even maybe think that you know how to play an instrument. But yeah, it's just be confident and like I said, even if you're not sure, don't tell anybody. Like just keep doing it and get after it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste time.
Yeah.
I did. At time, I did sometimes. Some
Well,
years
it
I
all
did.
worked out.
Yeah, it all
Okay.
worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Lenny, we have chosen 3 dishes from Lenny's Cantina that we want to see if you can guess what they are by the smell.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
first of all, you guys must be hungry.
so we have placed 3 different menu items from your cantina into the boxes. You cannot see the items, but you will be able to
Yeah.
smell them. And
Okay.
you have to guess what they are. Thank you. All right. This is number 1. Just push
Yeah.
this down and see if you can get that. Don't look at that
Nope,
side.
nope,
Don't
nope.
Oh,
look at
I'm
that
not
side.
gonna. I just gotta get it around, get it around my water.
All right.
Oh, that smells good.
It does smell good.
I wonder who made it.
I have a cold.
Oh.
Could be pizza,
Mm.
or it could be the soup.
Okay.
Okay.
It kind of has that same tomato vibe.
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell me?
No.
You gotta.
Do I
We
guess
gotta-
Do we do it later?
We gotta
or
keep going.
tell
Tell him.
What's your
That-
guess? What's your guess?
What's your guess? Lock it in.
Lock it in.
I lock it in. Yeah.
With what? What's your
I
guess?
gotta pick one of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say soup.
That is gravy.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Number 2. Do you want to hand that back? There we go. I'll trade you here. Thank you. All right. Here you go.
So it doesn't. What does it mean if I can't guess it right?
I don't even know.
I don't know what the hell I'm
You have a cold.
That smells like soup. Everything smells like soup.
Are you locking in with that
I'm
one?
walking it in.
Okay.
That is minestrone soup.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you got that one right.
There we go.
And then this is the
Shoulda given you that
final.
one first.
All right.
Last but not least.
Last but not least.
All right.
There you go.
I'm trying to think of what I made today. That smells weird. What was my special? Oh, assorted sub. Is it a wrap?
You're locking it
Are
in?
you locking it in?
Yeah.
That is a chicken Caesar wrap.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
I don't
All
know.
right.
It smelled. It must have been the garlic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
awesome.
not bad. The gravy.
No, not bad at all.
No,
The
I
I was
gravy,
surprised with
you
the
were
gravy.
probably expecting like an
I didn't-
actual dish.
I
Yeah.
bought
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Well, the other thing too is I buy a poutine gravy mix
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
from. It comes out of. It's from Quebec. I don't know. I
Okay.
guess they're supposed to have the best. Anyhow, so I didn't actually make it. I had water in it, heat it up.
I love that.
I didn't make the wrap though either.
Really?
No.
Who makes the wrap?
Staffy, the young lady that works for us, Karen was making them, and then we taught her how to make them.
Okay.
I don't make everything. I'd have to be here at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well,
So does that wrap everything up?
yeah.
Yeah.
No pun
Pun
intended.
intended.